Hey writers, it's time for another great session of writing. I cannot wait to see all your work when I get back to school. But today is one of my favorite days because it is a revision day. Now, we talked about revising a little bit earlier on, but really what I want you to know about the word revise, it kind of sounds, it's got that re prefix, which means to do it again. And revise, the vise comes from the word that vision comes from. So really when you're revising your work, you're looking at it again to see how can you make it better. Generally when we revise, we take out things that are not very specific and we add in even more detail. We tell exactly how things happen, exactly what things look like, exactly what you hear or see or smell or taste, what you can feel with your hands and with your heart, what your character is thinking. When we revise our work, we go back and look at it again and we try to make it even better. And usually that is when we add a bunch of stuff. So remember back in the back of the room where the writing center is, where you can get your booklets and your paper. Up top, there's that little container and it's got all of those strips in it. So if you want to write just an extra sentence, you can add that into your paper. If you want to write a whole lot more, you can even add a whole new page. Miss Redmond knows where my stapler is. She can help you reorder your book. But today, writers, we are going to revise. Now, in preparation for this, I thought a lot about the books that we know and love that we have shared together this year. I thought about some of the series books like Magic Tree House and Horrible Harry and Amelia Bedelia. Curious George is a series book. Clifford has series books. Piggy and Elephant have they're a series, books written about the same characters. So I thought back to all of those books and I thought, gosh, what do series books have that make them so wonderful that we want to keep reading book after book after book about the same character? And I came up with a couple of ideas and I wanted to share those with you in case you wanted to share them in your writing as well. In series books, even more than any other type of books, the authors pay special attention to the setting, not just the place where the story happens, but the time of day, the time of year, the season, the year. Is it currently happening in 2020 or did this happen a while back? Even the weather that's happening, the author brings that setting to life for you so that you have a place to kind of become friends with those characters in your mind. You can't become friends with a character that's just in like a black room. You've got to be able to imagine it. So describing the setting is always a great way to hook your reader in to make your story even better. But today when you're revising, you may want to look at your setting. Did you develop that enough? Does it feel like you're really there when you read the book? Or are you there in your memory or not in your memory, in your mind, in your imagination, but it's not coming to life on the paper yet? Are there things in your pictures that are telling part of the story that your words are not, that you could add to your words to make it even better? That's another one. They show authors and illustrators work together in series books to make the pictures that they do use, whether it be picture book series or a chapter book series that only has a very few pictures, they make those pictures tell a story with detail. So what you see in the picture gives you a better understanding of what you're reading in the story, and what you read in the story helps you really understand what you're seeing in the picture. Those pictures work really well together. So our favorite authors of series describe their setting completely. They let their pictures tell part of the story, and they make the action exciting. They choose those words, those sparkle words like we talked about last week. They choose those words that get us really excited to read. They don't just say or said. They don't just walk or went. They yell, they scream, they whisper, they gasp, they sprint, they tiptoe. They use those really good describing words and make their actions exciting for us. Um, Another great thing that you could look at when you're reading or when you're revising your work is, did you give enough detail about the other characters that aren't the main character? I know when I was writing about Jordan, and I talked about the part with her homework. Remember, you guys helped me with that one? Mom was part of that. And Mom kind of didn't do much except for just remind her of a rule. So if I were going to go back and revise, what I would start on today is developing Mom's character and telling a little bit more about Mom. Is she kind of a fun-loving, silly mom? Is she a real stickler for the rules? Is she a busy working mom? Does she have maybe more than one job and she's really busy a lot? I would develop that character because it's a character that I've introduced that I haven't really helped my reader get to know yet. What else? Oh, they also sometimes will share really strong feelings in pictures. So if you're writing a picture to go along with a story about your character that's, say, maybe scared, you wouldn't just draw a cute little picture and then give a happy face. You would try to think of not only how do I use words that describe being scared, what might her body or her hands a little sweaty? Does she feel her knees kind of tremble? But I would also show that in my picture. My face wouldn't look like this. It would look like this. You know, my eyebrows would be kind of turned up like this. My eyes really big, mouth wide open. That's what scared looks like. You could even draw those little, the lines kind of to show trembling. You know, you see lines on the outside of the body. That would be really cool. Boys and girls, I've given you so many great ideas that you can definitely use today while you're writing. I know you are ready to revise on your own. But before you do, you're the boss of your own writing. So give yourself a goal today. What exactly do you want to work on to improve your series story? Do you want to use extra little sentences and just use those little flaps? Do you want to try to add a whole new page? Do you want to use a mentor text, a book that you really like, and have it on your desk with you so that if you get to a point in your story and you're not sure what to do, you could look at the mentor text and say, I like the way that the author described this character here. I wonder if I could do something similar, not the same thing, but something similar in my work. Well, the author really made me know that the character felt scared when she said that she felt like there were hairs standing up on the back of her neck. Ooh, that's a really good one. And when I get scared, I get chill bumps all over my arms. So then I could write, she had chill bumps all over her arms. And that would show that my character is scared. And I got inspired by the story that said hairs raised on the back of her neck. You see, you could use a book. You might want to have a book on your desk today to kind of help look at if that's something that you think will inspire you. You should just give yourself a direction about the plan that you want to make today with your revision. All great writers start by rereading their entire story. So when we stop this video, your very first job is to stop and read the whole story that you are working on, and then make a goal for yourself. How do you revise? How do you re-look at your paper and make it better? I remember a good friend used to say, how does it get any better than this? How does it? What can we do to make it any better than this? It's up to you today, writers. So go ahead, get started reading your work. Should be totally quiet. Everybody reading their piece of writing. No questions yet. And then when you've finished and you've made a plan on how to revise and make it better, get the materials you need and begin. Happy writing.